Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my April TBR, and it is literally so crazy to me how it is April already. Like, this year is flying by, but I am excited to get some reading done this month. So I wanted to go over my prompts from last month and let you guys know what I did or did not finish, which I did end up reading all of the books on my March TBR. So I'm just gonna go over those prompts. And again, if you don't remember the rules, none of these prompts will be going back in the jar this month since I did read the books. So if I had not read any of the prompts, then that prompt would go back into the jar for a second chance for this upcoming month. But since I did read all of them, none of these prompts will be going back in the jar. So last month I picked a cartoon cover, which I did end up reading. I also had Published in Birthday Month, which I did end up reading. A book with green on the cover, which I did end up reading. Then I got a second cartoon cover, which I did end up reading. I got An Author You Love, which I ended up reading. I got Black Letters on the cover, which I did read. I got A Small Town Romance, which I did read. And for the last one, I got a mystery thriller, which I did read. So like I mentioned, none of these prompts will be going back in my TBR jar for the month since I did end up reading all of those prompts. But now we'll be picking new prompts out of my TBR jar for the month of April. I am feeling a little bit ambitious right now as I'm filming this. I might be feeling a different way later, but for this month I'm going to be rolling a 20-sided die. So I have the chance to get up to 20 books this month. I might regret this here in the next few seconds, but I'm going to pop the dice roller up on the screen, and if it's anything less than 5, then I will roll again. So for our 20-sided die, I got 7, which isn't too bad. It could have been worse. I think I am gonna roll one more time for the 4-sided die just to add in a little pizzazz, since I was able to complete all the books that I read last month. So we got a 4, so then that puts 11 for this month, which I think is completely and totally doable for me. So I'm gonna pick 11 prompts out of this jar, and hopefully majority of them will be books that I own already and not strictly Kindle Unlimited, but we'll see. But let's start picking. So for our first pick, okay, so for the first pick we got an LGBTQIA+ main character. So for this one, I think I'm going to read Astrid Parker Does Not Fail. This is the second book in the Bright Fall companion series, and I read Delilah Green Doesn't Care in February and enjoyed it. So I think this is going to be the book that I picked for this prompt. So for pick number 2, we're gonna go this one. Okay, so this one is a book starting with the letter S. Okay, so for a book that starts with the letter S, I'm going to go with Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maherin, and I believe it's young adult fantasy that follows a witch and a witch hunter. So I'm super excited to read this one. This has been on my radar for a while, so I'm excited to hopefully finally get to it in the month of April. All right, so for pick number 3, we'll go this one. Okay, and this one is a romantic comedy. So for a romantic comedy, I'm going to be reading Untying the Knot by Megan Quinn. And if you didn't know, Megan Quinn is one of my favorite authors of all time, and she is finally getting super hype recently, and I think it's totally well deserved because her books are so funny and so good, and I am just obsessed with her books. So I'm excited to read this one. It has been on my radar since it came out, and I just haven't gotten around to getting to it yet, so I'm super excited to read this one. All right, so for pick number 4, so this one is a book written by multiple authors. Okay, so book written by multiple authors. For this one, I'm going to go with Fated Throne by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. And this is the 6th book in the Zodiac Academy series. I started the series last year and have absolutely been loving it, and I'm super excited to continue on with the series. For pick number 5, so for pick number 5, we've got a second chance romance. I don't read a whole lot of second chance romances, but I think I might have a couple. Okay, so for second chance romance, I'm going with Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I've heard pretty mixed things about this. I have heard that this is a copy and paste of Love in Other Words and The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I haven't read either one of those books, so I'm not sure. I could go into this and absolutely love it, but yeah, I'm excited to read this one and hopefully I like it. All right, so we are on our 6th pick. So for pick number 6, we are going with the highest rated book on my Goodreads TBR. So let me pull up Goodreads and see what my highest rated book is. So on my want to read, we're gonna go by rating, by average rating. Okay, so a lot of these books are not out yet, so it looks like the highest rated is Clockwork Princess, but I'm not there yet in my reread of the Shadowhunters universe. So we're gonna go with the one right under it, which is The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, which that's the second one in a series. So just kidding, not that one either. We'll go with I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy as the highest rated, because most of these aren't out just yet. So all right, so for highest rated on Goodreads TBR, we are going with I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I've heard absolutely phenomenal things about this book and I'm super excited to read it. All right, so for pick number 7, we've got okay, so for pick number 7, we got a sci-fi book, which if you know me, you know sci-fi is not really my jam, but I also think that I have actually read all of the sci-fi books that I own, so I'm gonna have to look for one, so give me just a second while I look for one. Okay, so for my sci-fi pick, I decided to go with a sci-fi romance, and for this one I'm going with Arctic by Honey Phillip, and this is the first book in the 7 Brides for 7 Alien Brothers series, and the covers on these are pretty cute. It gives I Split in My Brain vibe, and so love that for me. All right, so on to pick number 8. Pick number 8, a new release within the last 3 months. Okay, so for new release within the last 3 months, I'm going with The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth, and this is a mystery thriller book that came out in March about this guy and his wife who live on the side of a cliff, and the man will talk people down from jumping off the cliff because it's very like dangerous and you'll die, until one day he like doesn't. So I guess it's like the wife trying to figure out why he didn't talk this one lady down, and apparently they had like dated in the past or something like that. But this sounded super interesting. It's really short and I love the cover. I think it's so pretty, and yeah, plus I'm in my mystery thriller era, so what would be a TBR without a mystery thriller on it? It's just my thing, it seems, apparently. All right, so pick number 9, we're going to, I'm gonna try to get way down at the bottom. Okay, so for this one we got a title that starts with the letter B. Okay, I have the perfect one for this one. So for this one I'm going with Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion, and this is the second book in the Legendborn cycle. I had this on my TBR for February and never got around to it, so I'm super excited to hopefully get to this one in April. I read Legendborn a few months ago and absolutely loved it, and am so excited to get to this book. Okay, so we are now on pick number 10. So for pick number 10, we're gonna go with, I have a lot trying to come out. We're gonna go with this one, and this one is a title with 3 words or less. So for a title with 3 words or less, I'm gonna go with Thrive, which is an addicted novel. It is the, I get lost with where I'm at in the series. It's the 4th book in the Addicted series, but the 6th book in the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. So I'm super excited to read this. I read Hot House Flower at the very end of last year and loved it. So I'm excited to go back and reread Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower from Lillian Lowe's point of view, because I believe that that's what this book is just those events told from Lily and Lo's point of view. So I'm super excited to dive back into this series. Okay, so for our pick number 11, we're gonna go with this one. This one is a book with white letters on the cover. White letters on the cover. Okay, so for this one with white letters on the cover, I'm gonna go Water Under the Bridge by Kels and Denise Stone. This is a book by a couple of TikTokers and I've heard really good things about this book, so I'm super excited to read it and hopefully I like it. They did just announce the next book, I think the next 2 books I think, on their Instagram, so I'm super excited to dive in the story and see if I like it. All right, and like we did last time, I'm gonna do just one other random pick because even numbers and whatnot. So for our last and final pick, which is pick number 12, I'm going to go with this one. Okay, and this one is Instagram pick, which basically means that I'm going to open up my Instagram and the first book that appears on Instagram that I have not read, I am going to be reading. So I'm gonna throw up a screen recording. Okay, so this is a stack of books, so I guess we're going with Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. Or we could do Archer's Voice based off of the book stack. Yeah, we're gonna go Realm Breaker. We'll go Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. So yeah, for the last book is Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. So that is one that I have been wanting to read actually. So super excited to read that one as well. But that is all the books that are going to be on my TBR for the month of April, which I feel like it's a pretty good TBR, but I feel like I say that every month. But let's just to go over it one more time. We've got an LGBTQIA+ main character. So for that one, we're going Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. The next one is a book starting with S, and for that one, we're doing Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharan. A romantic comedy, which is Untying the Knot by Megan Quinn. We've got a book written by multiple authors, which is Fated Throne by Susan Valenti and Caroline Peckham. Then we got a second chance romance, which is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Then we've got a sci-fi, which is Arctic by Honey Phillips. The next book is the highest rated book on my Goodreads TBR, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Then we've got a new release within the last 3 months, and for that one we have The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. And we've got a title that starts with B, and for that one that is Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. Then we have a title with 3 words or less, and we have Thrive by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Then we have white letters on the cover, which is Water Under the Bridge by Kels and Denise Stone. And then finally Instagram picks, which is Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. So overall, I would say that that is a pretty solid TBR. It's definitely some chonkers in there, so I'm excited to see what I'm going to be able to get read in the month of April. I think I got a little overconfident since I was able to finish all of my books in March, but hopefully we'll keep the streak going. That's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I will have all of my social medias linked down in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.